So check out this 1991 Dodge D150. Actually, this is a W150. It's a four-wheel drive truck. So a customer called us about this truck. He had a lot of complaints about how it drove and how it handled it, almost being uncontrollable. We're gonna take it for a drive here in a minute just to check it out and see exactly what's wrong with it. But essentially what we need to do is do some troubleshooting and see why it drives so bad. We'll probably throw it on the alignment rack, get some good specs on it, and look the whole suspension over to see what's going on. So check out this video and stay tuned. Come along as we take this thing for a spin. I think it just stalled. Let's try it again. One more time. Yes. All right. Don't forget the buckle. So the customer said this thing is really uncontrollable when we drive it, so we're gonna make sure we take it easy. Try not to head into any oncoming traffic. Whoa. It really does not like to stay driving in a straight line. So it feels to me like caster's a big deal on this truck. A vehicle with low caster or no caster or caster in the wrong direction means the vehicle is always constantly searching for which way to go. And that's how this thing feels for sure. I'm having a hard time keeping it between the mayo and the mustard, if you know what I mean. Yeah, steering wheel's like super crooked. Feels like something's vibrating, shaking pretty bad. Let's go take this thing back and get it on the alignment rack and see what's going on. So we just got this truck off the alignment rack and we found a few things wrong with the alignment. And I think it has a lot to do with what suspension's on it. So this truck, the biggest issue with it is caster. So caster on this vehicle is supposed to be within 0.5 degrees and 3.5 degrees. And when we're talking about caster, what we mean is the angle of inclination of the ball joints. So essentially, if you could draw, or let's say take a needle through both ball joints, that level of inclination or that angle of inclination is caster. Caster on this vehicle is actually negative. So that angle is actually leaning the wrong way. And the reason that I think that's happening is because these springs are really tall and it's rotating the axle forward. So we really need to come up with an idea on how to correct that. And I think once we correct caster on this, the vehicle's gonna handle a lot better. So we had a conversation with the owner of the truck about his issue with caster and why the vehicle handles so horribly. And the decision was made to actually go with a smaller suspension lift. I know it's crazy. Normally we lift trucks and not lower them, but today we're gonna end up lowering this Dodge. So here's the kit. It is a pretty simple kit. We're gonna be dropping this thing down from, I don't know, maybe 8 inches of lift down to 4 inches of lift. So it's a really simple rough country 4-inch kit. It comes with 4 new leaf springs, 4 new shocks, a steering arm, raised steering arm, and new U-bolts. Anytime you replace leaf springs, it's always a good idea to replace U-bolts. So this is gonna help in a couple areas. One, it's gonna bring caster back down within spec. Vehicles that are lifted, we like to see actually a little bit higher caster, so at the high end of the spec. So in a perfect world, we would love this truck to have like 3 degrees of caster. Another thing that's gonna help by lowering the ride height of this truck is the front drive shaft angle. Lowering this thing down is gonna really help that drive shaft angle and help any driveline vibes that he may be experiencing. Okay, here we are, day 2. We just wrapped up the suspension swap on this truck. So we took off the 8-inch lift, we installed the Rough Country 4-inch lift. During that install, we also installed a stock pitman arm, which is what Rough Country says that we needed for that kit. I really expect it to drive a lot better because when we look at our alignment specs, you'll see now that we've got positive 2 degrees of caster. So by lowering the ride height of the truck, it changed from negative 2 degrees of caster to positive 2 degrees of caster, which is well within spec. So not only does that help the vehicle drive a lot better, but it helps it look a little bit more appropriate because with 35-inch tires, the 8 inches of lift was a little bit excessive. One bonus that we got with doing this, and we talked about it a little bit earlier, was the front drive shaft angle. If you look at the front drive shaft angle, is a lot better, which should reduce any driveline vibrations that we had previously. So we're gonna get it off the alignment rack and take it for a drive here in a few moments. All right, so we're gonna take this thing for a drive and see how the new lift and the caster change fixed the drivability concern. So come on, let's go. All right, so here we are driving this truck, significantly better in how it tracks and handles. It definitely is pretty easy to drive. It tracks right down the road straight. I mean, it's still a pretty harsh ride because it's a solid axle, leaf sprung truck. But all things considering, you know, I can keep it between the white line and the yellow line pretty easily at this point. So I would say that pretty decisively we got it fixed up for the guy, and he should be pretty happy with how it handles now. Still bumpy. Gonna die. The truck's all done. We've taken it for a test drive. I think the customer's really gonna like how it drives. In the comments section below, let us know the scariest thing you've ever driven. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and remember to subscribe. Thanks for watching.